Hello, and welcome back to another 6-scale figure review with me, your host, Matt Mania. And today we have, I think, the last 501st clone I could possibly own right now. I think it's the last one on pre-order at the current moment. We have ARC Trooper Echo, which is a nice special one, but technically speaking, it is a duplicate character, because I do have the Bad Batch Echo, but I'm going to count this as a separate guy, because it really is a separate guy. I love Echo. I love ARC Trooper Echo. I love episode, 2 in the Clone Wars series, Echo. I like all the Echo. Echo is a good character. Echo is a great character. Him, Fives, I love them dearly. So missing out on an ARC Trooper Echo, because I already have a Bad Batch Echo, just felt stupid to me. So here's the box. It is a normal Star Wars box, as we always go through. It's got pictures of the figure. It's got all the words you could possibly fancy on the back. Another picture of the figure right here. Our little stripe at the bottom here. And Star Wars box. Anyway, the box is as great as it could be. But what we want to see is the figure on the inside. So why don't we get him out right now? So here's our boy Echo. I don't know why, but I keep wanting to say Fives. Here's our boy Echo on the spinning turntable, and he looks really good. Unlike Fives, who has to be special because he's got to be a different shade of blue than everyone else, Echo knows how to keep it stylish in the good shade of 501st blue. He doesn't have to be lighter. He doesn't have to be different. He doesn't have to get crazy with it. He just needs to be happy. And he sure looks the part. This shade of blue really does it. It helps him stand out, obviously. But this shade of blue looks really good. And the two of them together, I can only imagine, are going to look even better. And this guy is definitely one of those ones that's going to be one of the front standing guys because, ARC Trooper looks really good. I do have some complaints about the ARC Trooper stuff. I don't know if I complained about it in the 5 stuff, but I probably will complain about it here because it's really hindering my love for these guys. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy. I like the coloring. I like the way he looks initially, and I like pretty much everything about him. So why don't we get him off of the spinning turntable here and talk about our Clone Trooper. So he comes with pretty similar accessories to Fives, with a couple differences here and there. For the most part, the same. But we start out with our dualies pistols, just like Captain Rex, just like Fives, just like any other trooper with 2 holsters. We got our dualies on the pistols, just like Halo 3 multiplayer. You can have dual-wielded pistols, which is nice. It's a good option. It's probably what I'll do for him because I have a lot of people with the default blaster, which, speaking of, yet another default blaster. Always good. Got a million of these at this point. It doesn't come with a big gun. No big bazooka on this one, unfortunately. We do get another data pad, though. That's always good, as long as it works when you're trying to blow up, your facility. When there's droids in there and you're trying to use the gonk droid to blow up the whole place. When it works, it works. When it doesn't, it's really unfortunate. How many times in media do I need to watch the big heavy machine gunner guy have a bomb that the detonator doesn't work, so they have to sacrifice themselves while everyone else sits there and watches? We got Heavy, and we got George in Halo Reach. It's a few more times than you think it would be. We also got the extra accessories. Technically, the rangefinder is an accessory here. We also have this visor piece, which I don't believe I have. Actually, no, I do have it on a generic 501st. But we got this nice visor piece. It's got really nice, beautiful weathering, blue stripe at the top. And you can put this on while the rangefinder is on. And the third accessory here, which is the little flashlight piece. It doesn't actually flashlight. It's just a fake out little phony. Hot Toys doesn't want to go through the effort of actually making a flashlight, which is I'm never going to use a flashlight, so it's fine. But you would just pop this piece out here, plug this in, or you could pop both these pieces out, put this on, pop these pieces back in, because you do get the side pieces for popping and putting. And finally, we have our head sculpt here. And if you asked me what the difference between this one and the head sculpt that Fives comes with, is that there was a big 5 on the Fives one. But other than that, they're very similar head sculpts. It does look nice. It looks like what Tamora Morrison might look like if he was ARC Trooper Echo. I like this weird route that they've taken where they're like, we have to make photorealistic Tamora Morrison, but we also have to make him look like the clone that he's supposed to be. So they've kind of doomed themselves into actually having to design things, which is funny. But you can see there is a bit of a seam line there, almost unnoticeable, but it is there, and it is kind of weird to look at once you notice it. But it's not bad. It's pretty good overall. Kind of looks like a weird Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonator with this hair. But it's funny. It's fine. I'll never use it probably, but it's there if I wanted to. And, you know, options are always nice. But let's talk about the option of having this guy in your collection at all. Starting out with this beautiful helmet. It is, sorry. It is nice. I like these lines here at the top. I think they're really nice at bringing out color, but it kind of feels weird in the same way. I don't know, like the design doesn't quite flow into anything. It just kind of stops. It doesn't like branch out, so it just kind of looks like a horseshoe, or like the big arch in whatever, Missouri, St. Louis or wherever that is. It's just an odd, like if it had continued going, or maybe if it like splayed out or something, I think it might add that little bit extra. But it is just kind of like this shape that feels oddly put there. I like the color, and I like the light blue under it. The fin is nice and blue, so there's a lot of blue there, but I still feel like it just kind of like abruptly stops at the black line. Just my opinion overall. Rangefinder is nice. It does move around. It is this gray color, which almost makes it look unpainted. Because, like, if I bring out... Fives is the same way. But if I bring out Captain Rex, like, his has this little bit of paint on the top here. This almost looks like they either didn't paint it or is a specific choice on their part. I won't be able to know unless, you know, I ask them personally. But other than that, it does look good. We've got all this nice weathering on the helmet, and it stands out really nicely. I love the way the visor looks. It's got a nice sheen to it, like it always does. And these little bits of bobs of blue on the side there definitely add that little bit more blue that I need. Got that gray on the back here. And a very dirty weathered helmet, because you know that this clone has been through a lot, which is nice to see. Coming down here is my biggest gripe and my biggest point of content is these pauldrons. They're just too stiff and sturdy, so it's kind of hard to pose him with anything because he's just like stuck under these pauldrons. So I can't do any of the fun poses I want to do with these guys as much because of the lack of posability it has. I like the shade of blue on one side and black on the other. They help stand out a lot, but it's just really hindering what I could be doing because it's just not allowing me to do it. Other than that, we have the iconic Captain Rex handprint, which he must have re-stenciled and redrawn because that's outer plate armor. So I don't really know how they went about it. If they just like, if Captain Rex went up to him and he's like, okay, I'll do it again just this once, and pressed it on his new armor plate, because it was on his normal armor plate, if you remember. So that's just an oddity that they never explained, and I don't really feel like they ever will. If anybody knows the lore reason as to how they got that handprint on the outer jacket or whatever, please feel free to let me know. We have our ammo pouch on the opposite side. Everybody else has theirs on the right side, but he has his on the left, so you can see the hand there, which is a nice attention to detail. On the back, we have our normal ARC Trooper backpack, which is almost the same but slightly different because there is different color tones. There's more brownish bronze in there as opposed to fives, which is like just straight up grays and gunmetal grays and darker grays. So it is nice to have that little bit of variety of color. I do enjoy that for the most part. It makes me very happy. I'm so glad I kept fives on standby for this one. Usually I'm just embarrassed because I don't have it ready. Other than that, we've got this crisp blue, this nice dark 501st blue on the arms here on a stripe that looks really good. Very similar to what Fives has. Fives has the stripe going down. whereas 5's gauntlet here is mostly gray with some blue on the inside. This is all blue on this side, which looks really good, and on this side it has gray. This side is very similar to 5's, but this side is not. It's got the straight blue, and I love it. This shade of blue is super nice to look at, and it makes me very, very happy overall because it'll mesh in really, really nice, and I cannot wait to get this guy on the shelf with everyone else because I think he is going to look fantastic. Underneath we have our ammo pouches here. I'm pointing at my screen behind the camera, by the way, for some reason. We have our holsters, a couple pouches back here, our little back thing, the normal clone belts with all of its gizmos and doodads, and then we have our comma, which on one side is all white and on the other side has a nice blue shape to it. Asymmetrical, a little weird, but you know, it works. It's got really good weathering on this side. It's very dirty. It's like he wiped his ass with it. Because it doesn't look like that. And then for the most part, down at the bottom, we have our normal ARC Trooper stuff. We got the gray armored pieces with the blue on the inside, and then some gray boots to suits. Looks very good overall, and I'm very happy with ARC Trooper Echo here. He's definitely going to be a fantastic addition to my collection. Anyway, why don't we pull out the other Echo and just see how much he's changed over the last couple years. You know, diets do wonders these days. So with Bad Batch here, he kind of loses his clone identity, which is, you know, kind of part of the problem because he's more of a different person than he used to be after being held hostage and used as a means as a weapon in the Clone Wars after his death, in quotations. He's a much different person than he used to be. There's still like the small little things here and there, you know, the belts are the same. He's still got a combo, but it's different. It's got a nice red to it. But he doesn't keep any of those like iconic factors that his armor previously had. Instead of having the Captain Rex hand, he's got the skull there. He kind of loses that little bit of identity. I do kind of wish that they had represented the hand on him in some sort of way, because that feels a little missed out, because that is still kind of Echo's thing. Despite him being who he is now, I feel like it should have been put there. Obviously, he's missing a hand. But that would have been a perfect opportunity, you know, the hand. I think Rex could have done it one more time for him. Rex would be like, oh, you know, we saved you. You're going to be the Bad Batch. Here's a handprint one more time, just for the road, buddy. But I do like that I like that they look so distinct that people probably won't even know that they're the same characters, so I could just play it off on the shelf anyway. Moving on, I got a couple clones here that would love to meet their friend Echo. So here are, you know, our Citadel bunch, our main group of clones, the two ARC Troopers, 5's and Echo, and their pals, Captain Rex and Commander Cody. But it never really dawned on me that the only ARC Troopers we really see as main characters, obviously there were the ones in the one episode, but for the most part, the only ARC Troopers we see are 501st. Makes you wonder, were there 202nd ARC Troopers I wasn't seeing? What do they look like? I'm very curious all of a sudden. I feel like Waxer and Boyle had the opportunity to be ARC Troopers. Why they didn't get to be ARC Troopers, beyond me. Poor rest in peace, Boyle, by the way. But they do look fantastic, and I'm very happy about this lineup here. And any excuse to get Cody out, I will absolutely take, because he is my heart, my soul, my gem. He's everything to me, and I love him dearly. And now I love this entire group dearly. They look really, really good. But you know what would look even better? Every single clone I possibly could have in my collection. Have you ever considered maybe just maybe there's a way to see them all together in one epic little short montage? Behold my clone collection so far. So moving in, we've got a life ending 360 degrees. A little tight on the pauldron here, but that's to be expected. A little back and forth. Up that far, down that far. Arm goes up that far. Pauldron still once again in the way. And without breaking arms, we go about up that far and back that far. With more than 90 at the elbow, which is always lovely to see. There is no crunch. That armor will prevent that completely. But you do get a fantastic spread thanks to the cloth undersuit. Leg goes up a bit further than I thought it would. Leg goes back just a little bit. Just about 90 at the knee. And freedom at the ankle gives him good ankle articulation. So you can usually, just like usual with a clone, you can get pretty good articulation out of him and do whatever it is you pretty much need him to do. Can I just say, having these two clones together is like super exciting because they really do bring out the absolute best in each other. Having one or the other is great. If you just want fives or you just want Echo, that's fine. But let me tell you, if you're getting one, getting the both of these guys together is definitely a fantastic option. They bring out the best in each other. They complement each other really nicely, and they just look together really well as a pair. Having that phase 1.5 helmet looks really good because Jesse is a good ARC trooper, but he has the phase 2 helmet because at this point they phased out this helmet. But having these two together, they're like two of a kind, two threads in the same stitch, and they look so good next to each other. And if you have any other clones, Captain Rex, Commander Cody, even just regular 501st clones or an Anakin, they're going to look so good as a group. It's going to be crazy. And I'm so happy that I can add these guys to my collection now. I appreciate Hot Toys doing that because, boy, the sideshow ones were getting expensive. And if they could just make a few other ones that I'm looking for, I'd be happy. But, man, these two are a great pairing, and I cannot wait to add these two to the rest of my clone troopers, especially Echo, because, boy, those colors really do work for me. As much as I already have an Echo, and those colors also do it for me. I have this Echo twice now. Looks really good and has impressed me, so I'm very, very happy about that. If you've picked up Echo, or you already had Echo, or you have the Sideshow Echo, feel free to let me know which Echo you have. It feels like there's an Echo in this room with the amount of times I'm saying Echo. If you have any Echo, feel free to let me know which one you have in your collection. Is it the Bad Batch? Is it this one? Do you have the original Sideshow run? I know that one looks pretty good, but boy, does it go for a pretty penny nowadays. If you have any clone in your collection, actually, at this point, just feel free to let me know which ones. Do you have every single one that Hot Toys has released? Have you only grabbed a couple, maybe just the mainline named ones? You know, these are the questions I have to ask as a mandatory observer. Because I've pretty much grabbed everything up to a certain point. It got to a point where I was getting overwhelmed, and I wasn't looking for just generic, like, white clone. I wanted the pilot, but I never got that. And the clone commandos haven't really been doing it for me. I got Gregor, but not any of the other ones. The exclusive Umbra, which I really wanted, that I didn't get because I really wanted it. So Sideshow said, no, you're not allowed to have that. But all in all, I'm very happy with my clone collection so far, and I'm hoping to add a few more good ones, especially with some of the ones coming down the pipeline now, and really bolster my troops to the fullest to the extent. And as always, if you enjoy the video, feel free to like and subscribe. The channel's been doing nicely recently, and I'd love to keep that momentum up, especially because figure production has been slow recently. So I've got nothing better to do but figure out different ways to talk to you guys. And with all of that out of the way, I've been me, and you've been you, and thank you for watching another 6-scale figure review. Hopefully you join me next time when we review something maybe new. I will see you then.